What is up, YouTube? That's here, bringing you 3 more battles I played on Showdown recently. Starting things off, we're going to be going against Danis the Manus, and if you guys were thinking my team looked familiar, you're right, it's the same team I used yesterday. I had these battles saved up, and I didn't really know what to do with them, but they are all pretty good battles. I don't know if I'm going to come back to this team in the future at all, but I really like the way this team plays. I really like the dual mega, Gastrodon, and the cheese that the Lumberry, Blaziken, and the Moxie Banded Salmons bring to the table are pretty cool. Hopefully these battles do the best to showcase them to at least my best ability. So we're just going to start this thing off, get right into it, and hopefully show you guys some really cool plays you guys can do with this team too. So starting things off with Sableye, like I said before in previous videos, I think it's the best lead in the game. Pairing it off with Lumberry Blaziken, we're going to be leading off against Conkeldurr, and it's going to be Amoonguss this game. So what we're going to be showing this game is Blaziken and its versatility when using the Lumberry. So I can go for a Swagger priority onto my own Blaziken and one-shot a Conkeldurr with Flare Blitz. That is ridiculous damage turn 1. Kinda sucks though, because my opponent is going to not really read that, but go for the Spore onto the Blaziken. So his response was definitely the correct one in that situation. I thought he was going to put my Sableye to sleep, and the next turn I would just KO the Amoonguss, but it is going to force my Blaziken out. Even though I'm at +2, I actually don't want to go down to an Aqua Jet unless I have to. I'm going to come with Sableye. We're going to see my opponent go for Rage Powder, redirecting the Swagger that I used onto Amoonguss. Now, I originally did target Azumarill with the Swagger, just because I kind of wanted to be able to live through the player up, and I knew it would one-shot anyways. But my opponent did go for the correct move, use the Rage Powder to redirect my move, and now Amoonguss is going to be confused, but I still feel really confident here. I mean, I took out a Conkeldurr for free. I have an Asleep Blaziken, but I definitely have the power play, forcing him out into his Mawile here. It's going to get an Intimidate, but he is swapping in with a unevolved Mawile, so he's taking a very big gamble. We're going to see me go for the Mega Evolve into Venusaur here, and I'm just going to go for a standard U-turn off onto the Amoonguss slot for neutral damage. Going back, I sent out my Sleeping Blaziken trying to waste some of those sleep counters, and we're going to see my Venusaur, unluckily for me, go for the what was a super effective Sludge Bomb onto the Azumarill slot. So kind of wish I went for Giga Drain. It would have took about at least a third off the Mawile, but it's really not that big of a deal here. Starting off turn 4, we're going to see Blaziken still asleep. I go for a very important Leech Seed off onto Mawile, but in retaliation he goes for a strong Stabbed Iron Head back. So we're going to see Leech Seed go off, and also I think the Amoonguss Giga Drain my Venusaur. I mean, it's not really very important, but I'm still asleep at turn 5 with Blaziken. Both these Pokemon are things I want to hit so badly with this Blaziken. Flare Blitz tears this guy's team apart, but he's just continuing to solo target my Venusaur, and it's not really doing that much. I think that Giga Drain did like 2%, so Venusaur's still going to be okay. There is a Leech Seed. I can protect stall this out a little bit, and my Blaziken is super fast by now thanks to all those V-boosts. We're going to see turn 6, Venusaur is going to protect, Blaziken, Amoonguss snaps out of confusion, goes for the Rage Powder, and I go for the Wake Up Flare Blitz. I originally targeted Mawile. Remember, you always want to force your opponent to use the Rage Powder if it's very important. Like, if you want to KO the Amoonguss, you can attack it. But if you want to attack something and you think they might Rage Powder, always just attack the thing and force the Rage Powder. I know I say that, I've said it a million times, but it's very important. I feel it's something that all players should learn to play with. And yeah, we're just going to get back into the game. It's going to be turn 7. He has a Azumarill and Mawile, the double fairies with double huge power, super strong until they get intimidated by my switch in Assault Vest Landorus. I think it's very important. Look how bulky that is. I mean, I know it's an Intimidate, but the full HP wall Landorus is definitely going to put in work this game. We see I proc his Citrus Berry and his Azumarill thanks to my Giga Drain. I eat this Iron Head, but this Mawile is just a ticking time bomb. He's eventually going to go down to the Leech Seed. I mean, I'm playing pretty obviously, going for multiple protects here, but there's not really that much he can do about it, especially this turn where I played the extremely obvious go for the Protect Earthquake here. You could tell that I'm probably not Scarfed just by how bulky I am thanks to the damage that I did not take from the Aqua Jet. So at least I hit a Azumarill with that Earthquake, but I am left at 5%. It's getting kind of dicey here, even though these are his last 2 Pokemon. I feel to win this game, I'm going to have to switch my Landorus out and go back into my Blaziken, foddering Blaziken in the process. I know Blaziken's always they always get foddered, but it's what I had to do. He also went for the double protect on the Mawile, which I feel, judging from his situation, was probably the correct play. He probably thought I was just going to double Earthquake, take out both of his Pokemon, and I have no problem with him going for the double protect. So yeah, Mawile's intimidated, it's leech seeded, and he's pretty much just going to forfeit. Remember, I still have Landorus in the back, and yeah, I think the leech seed did like all of Mawile's HP. This game would have been over a lot earlier if I originally Giga Drained on what was the Azumarill slot. It turned into the Mawile slot, but yeah, I wanted to hit for a stronger attack and potentially have the poison to pick up the KO. I had no reason to Giga Drain because at the time my Venusaur was still at full HP, so I feel like I said I played this one pretty well. I went for the correct play on turn 1, but he actually spored my Blaziken. So if you would have spored my Sableye instead of my Blaziken, I feel this game would have been a very, very quick 3 or 4-0. So we're just going to go into the next game. I hope you guys enjoyed that game against Danis the Manus. And we're going to be leading off against JK7, a fellow player from NorCal, which always attends the Premier Challenge at San Bruno. And this is actually, the next 2 games are of me playing against JK7. This game, we're going to be seeing my Blaziken team go up against Entei, Rotom Wash, Ferrothorn, Scrafty, Landorus, and Goodra, Pokemon you don't actually see that often in this format. So we're just going to start things off without any further ado, get right into it. And we lead off with Sableye, the best lead in the game currently, and Blaziken, same leads as last time, and this game is just going to be, like, what is it? What's the correct word to use here? This game is going to be a clinic on how to win the game with Lumberry Blaziken, especially when you get put behind by a double Intimidate. So 2 Intimidators are definitely going to force my Blaziken to switch out into Venusaur. I know I'm not super bulky until I'm Mega, but there's nothing I can really do here. We see my Sableye also go for the priority Will-O-Wisp onto the Landorus. He goes for a critical hit Rock Slide, which actually hits pretty hard considering the fact that he's burned, and a Snarl from the Scrafty. So that Scrafty has a very unique set. He has the Intimidate to lower my physical attack, and the Snarl AoE to lower my team's special attack. I want to look at his team though, and we note that other than Entei and potentially Ferrothorn, he can't really do that much against my Venusaur. So I feel very confident in just using Venusaur to fulfill its role using Leech Seed and Giga Drain, and I don't really feel that he can do that much against me. Like I said, in this case scenario, I'm going to go for the Leech Seed onto the Landorus, and we're going to try to KO him as fast as possible. We also see he goes for a Taunt on Sableye, which is very uncommon on Scrafty, but it's still a move that it does learn, so you guys got to watch out for that. So in being taunted, it's going to force out my Sableye going into Salamence, and we note that I do not use an Intimidate here. I'm running a Moxie Salamence, but him switching to Ferrothorn and going for a Rock Slide is pretty much going to force me out. The only real reason why I switched in the first place was pretty much just because I was taunted. So the burn and the Leech Seed are slowly ticking away in that Landorus. I obviously can't Leech Seed the Ferrothorn, so we see his Landorus switched out, go back into the Scrafty. It's going to get intimidated on my Salamence, but luckily for me, I'm already switching out this turn. I'm recalling, and I think I send out my Sableye right back out, so pretty good double switch from me. I also get a free Giga Drain off onto Scrafty, so I feel pretty ahead here. We're going to see him go for the Gyro Ball onto my Sableye, and it's going to put me in the red, but it's not actually going to finish me off. I think Iron Head would have definitely KO'd me, but Gyro Ball just doesn't. Sableye's not fast enough to be able to pull that off. I start off turn 5 by going for a priority Prankster Recover and get a Leech Seed off on a Scrafty. So we're starting the same thing over again. We went for on the Landorus, and we're just using the Leech Seed and the the dots, the damage over time, to potentially get most of those Pokemon to half, so I can just KO them with mediocre moves from there. But I am going to switch out my Venusaur here. I don't want to eat like a switch in like an Entei or something, because I don't really know exactly what his last Pokemon is, and I go into Blaziken. And remember, this is the same turn 1 I started with, and both these Pokemon are well within KO range for Blaziken at +2. So I'm going to go for the combo at the start of turn 7, and there we go. Alright, cool. He's going to Witch Off Ferrothorn. Obviously, he doesn't want to eat a Flare Blitz with that Pokemon. He's going to go into Landorus, get that really good Intimidate here, and he doesn't really know that much about my set. We're all talking about my set in the chat, but he doesn't really know exactly how it's going to go. I'm going to Lumberry, or sorry, I'm going to Swagger my Blaziken, proc my Lumberry, so it gives it +2. After the Intimidate, I'm going to be at +1. Still enough to take out the Scrafty, which is exactly what I want to see. We also see Landorus take the burn damage. The pretty good turn for me. Remember, that was on the swap into the Landorus that happened. Starting turn 8, we see the Rotom Wash come in. I go for the Swagger onto the burn Landorus. He hits himself in confusion, and the +1 stabbed high jump kick is actually going to be the move to take out the Rotom. So something you very rarely see is high jump kick on Blaziken, but definitely pulled through and definitely won me that game. So that's just a decent battle, or decent example, I would think, of how to clean up with Blaziken late game, especially when Sableye is your pair or your partner. So this game actually isn't over yet, even though I'm kind of talking like it's over, but you can tell how any game where it's Blaziken and this is a 4-stock, Blaziken and friends versus a Ferrothorn, it's usually going to be over. So I don't really know what else to say about that game other than I felt it was really cool styling with Swagger, Lumberry, Blaziken. Always fun, always a good time. So that's game 1 against JCable7. I played this one about a week ago. And this next game I played a couple hours ago against him on Battle Spot. So I'm going to load that one up for this last game of the night. So it's going to be me using a team some of you might have seen me use before. I've used it on my stream before. And this is a team that I made as a joke. And most of the Pokemon in it are a joke. And it pretty much just uses Charizard X. We're using Charizard X, Terrakion, like a full wall Terrakion. It's actually a really, really unique set. We're using a Citrus Berry Venusaur with Sunny Day. We have Sylveon on the team, but out of the hundreds of battles I've played with this team, actually I might have only played like 80 battles, but out of the 80 battles or so I've played with this team, I've never once brought it. We have a Choice Scarfed Flash Fire Typhlosion, which just spams Eruption, and we have a Focus Sash Ninetales, and that's actually where the stun comes in case, I'm not going to be able to get it up with Venusaur. One of my favorite things to do is lead Charizard Venusaur, go for like a Dragon Dance with my Charizard X, and go for a Sunny Day with Venusaur, so it makes it look like it's Charizard Y, but in reality it's a Charizard X team. So I feel like I've given enough info about the team, well, my team. We're going to talk about JCable7's team. He has a Blaziken of his own this time. Looks like my little demonstration against him like a week ago that you guys just saw paid off. He looks like he's using Sableye too. He's using Blaziken Sableye, so he totally jacked my combo. He has a Metagross, he has a Rotom Wash, a Hydreigon, and a Mamoswine. So pretty good team from there, but nice to see that he took a little bit of my combo because it is a pretty good one, I'd like to think. So we're going to start things off, and remember guys, this last battle is always one that I like to think is super fun, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Alright, so Charizard's leading it off with, I think I love a Terrakion. So this is one of the many combos that this team can pull off that most other teams can't. So we're going to see him lead with Rotom Wash and Hydreigon. And this is actually a Life Orb Terrakion that I'm using. So we're going to see really cool play this first turn. We're going to see him switch out. He doesn't want to eat like a close combat or anything. He goes into his Metagross here, which is quite unique. And we're going to see me go into Charizard X just because I don't want to eat like a Hydro Pump or anything and go down, or a Thunderbolt. I go for a Dragon Dance, and then I Psych Up that Dragon Dance. Psych Up is a move that copies any Pokemon on the board, copies their stat boost. And in this situation, I copied Dragon Dance, and most people might not be used to fighting a Terrakion with Sword Dance or a Terrakion with Rock Polish, but I can tell you what, no one has ever fought against a Terrakion with a Dragon Dance. This thing's damage is ridiculous. We're going to go for a Stab Close Combat with a Life Orb, and we are going to one-shot a Rotom Wash. That is right, we literally just one-shotted a Rotom Wash with a +1. I mean, it's only +1, but the speed that makes the Terrakion actually KOable. It's like a Scarf, and it's a Dragon Dance Terrakion. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. He also switches in, goes for switching in his Hydreigon, eats a stabbed Flare Blitz, and almost gets KO'd with his Hydreigon for it. Then he tries to go for a Choice Scarf Rock Slide. He's actually not going to hit my Charizard. Kind of good for me, but then he also is down with the Close Combat Terrakion. I'm trying to keep up casting this, but the hype is just too real, and this is one of the few games that this team is actually like styled on someone this hard. Because normally when I go for that lead, I just get super punished. But he didn't have that much turn 1 pressure. I'm really surprised he didn't bring Sableye. And yeah, he's going to go down to the Charizard X team. we're also going to one-shot his Mega Metagross, something that I don't think I've ever seen a Mega Metagross get one-shotted by a fighting type attack. I mean, it is neutral damage, but man, like, if you guys like using Charizard X and you like using really gimmicky teams, you might want to try this team. It is a very fun one to use. There's a million other plays you can do. You can kind of go like Charizard and like go for a Dragon Dance and then switch in your Ninetales the turn you want to go for a Flare Blitz. Or you don't even have to show your Charizard X. Just leave like Charizard and whatever X mystery Pokemon and just switch your Ninetales in, start up the Sun, and just nuke someone with a Tough Claws, stabbed, Sun boosted Flare Blitz. It's the funnest thing in the world, and it actually just makes people feel like, wow, I'm actually terrible and I can't do anything about this. And it's just a fun way to play the game. So thank you guys for coming and watching these games. If you like the battles, feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.